Good morning. I think probably most of the Colorado people who join us normally will not be here because the kids have a 2-hour delay this morning. So they're probably all sleeping in. Also, it's like a beautiful -2 degrees outside right now. So that's bananas. I'm just going to go ahead and get us started because I'm excited about what we're reading about today. So we are still in the Sanctuary of Women by Janelle Richardson. We're in the very beginning, the book of Eve, and we are on chapter 15. So I'm going to read for us the blessing at the beginning first. Blessed are you, O God, who created the world with a word, and who fashioned your people from dust and from delight. In our waking, may we know you, breathing in us, breathing through us, creating us anew with your longing and love. So the chapter today is called In the Garden of the Text. It's a small book, a chapbook of sorts, apple red cover, 2 staples in its folded spine. The drawing on the front depicts an old twisted tree whose branches are laden with books. In the corner, a woman reaches toward an open book. The apple red book came my way in college, a text for one of my classes. Published by the Women's Institute for Continuing Jewish Education in San Diego, Taking the Fruit, Modern Women's Tales of the Bible is a contemporary introduction to the ancient practice of midrash, one of the treasures of the Jewish tradition. Midrashim are stories that first emerged orally long centuries ago, as the rabbis pondered the Hebrew Bible, where gaps, curiosities, and seeming contradictions existed in the text. The rabbis brought the gift of their imagination, spinning stories out of the spaces between the lines and reconciling the points of tension. They created tales of wisdom and wonder that were passed down from generation to generation, eventually taking written form. The practice of midrash was born of the recognition that although the form of the scriptures remains essentially the same, the Bible is a living book that continues to ask us to engage it anew. While the boundaries of the written text of the Bible came to be fixed in a codified form, the practice of midrash pulls away and plays with those boundaries, finding abundant room to add its storied wisdom to the gaps in the margins of the text. The practice of creating midrash continues to this day. In the past several decades, Jewish women in particular have turned to midrash as a way to claim a voice of their own within a text that often relegates women to the margins. The creators of Taking the Fruit describe it in this way. One way for women to relieve the tension that is created in a relationship which involves the static, codified Torah and the modern, ever-changing world is for each generation to create anew. Women's roles in the Torah were circumscribed and limited, while women's roles in the modern world are expanding in vision and in practice. Therefore, it is incumbent upon contemporary women to write modern stories which maintain their relationship with the text and which incorporate their experience and consciousness into Judaism. This process allows Judaism to grow and develop a healthy relationship with all of its people. Midrashim and Taking the Fruit are new ones, or at least they were new at the time the book was published nearly 30 years ago. Written by members of a class the Women's Institute offers, the writers drew their inspiration from earlier Midrashim, ancient as well as contemporary ones, and from living their own lives. Within their pages, we find imaginative stories of biblical women such as Eve, Sarah, Rachel and Leah, Dinah and the midwives, Sephra and Puah and Miriam. Also present among the pages was Lilith, an intriguing, complex character who emerged from a mix of folklore and rabbinic midrash. In the midrashic tales, Lilith appears prior to Eve. She is the first woman in the woman of Genesis 1, who was created at the same time as man, not the woman of Genesis 2, who was made from the rib of Adam. Taking the fruit initiated me into an ancient tradition of storytelling entirely new to me. The notion that between and within the words of the Bible lay worlds yet to explore enchanted me. For this invitation to bring this sacred gift of imagination to holy ground of scriptures, Midrash beckons us to do sacred texts as to a garden where we are meant to tend and take and eat. So, may you tend and take and eat the gifts in the garden of the text, in the gaps and in the margins, in the secret spaces among the words. May you find places to create stories anew. I love that so much. And as we continue our practice today, we are going to explore what it looks like to explore our own boundaries, to play with our own stories, the ones that are inside of us, to recognize that we too are ever growing and expanding in our conscious thoughts, in the ways that we can move, in our strength, in our beauty, in all of those things. So we're going to start just with our breath. So if you're still getting ready, that's fine. Just get out your blankets, whatever you need to be comfy. If you're there already, make yourself comfortable so you can lay down or sit up, or you stand up, whatever's comfortable for you. We're just going to start with breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Concentrate on filling yourself up completely. What does that feel like? To fill your whole body with breath. And then to wring it out completely. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling. As you inhale, you can invite your breath to explore your body. Seek out any places where the energy is stagnant. To seek out where you need healing. To seek out where a new story could be told. Some of you might be awakened to this new space in your body. You might not recognize anything, but both are fine, both are okay. As you breathe and let the breath explore your body, you can also let your mind drift. What's a story that you tell about yourself? Maybe you've been telling it for so long that it doesn't really feel like a story, but more like the truth. Maybe it's a story about how you're too much. Maybe it's a story about how you're not enough. Maybe it's a story about how little you matter, how small and weak your voice is. Check that story and see if it lines up with who God says you are. Does the story say that you are beautiful and beloved, that you are precious, that you are worthy of love and protection? If it's a story that you tell yourself that brings you the flesh of shame or makes you feel small and insignificant, then that is the story we're rewriting today. That is the place in your body where we will explore new boundaries. We'll show you how strong and beautiful you are. So when you're ready, we'll just start with some shoulders coming up to the ears and then pressing down. Good. Just side to side, moving one ear up to the shoulder, other ear pressing down, making that a dynamic stretch here. And opening the heart space. Ooh, and then rounding it back up. Opening the heart space and rounding it back up. Good. A couple more times. Opening up and rounding it up. Good. Big body circles here. And back the other way. Arms can reach for the ceiling. Feel the space in your body here. Good. And we're just going to come over the right. Left arm comes high. You can keep that right arm straight, or you can bend it for a deeper stretch along that whole side of your body. Remember that this is your yoga. This is your movement. You can do anything I suggest here, or you can do nothing I suggest here. It's totally up to you. If I ask you to go into a position that you don't love putting your body in, then you cannot do it because you are at the best. Good. Over to the left. Arm can be straight, arm can be bent. It's up to you. Notice the sensation in your body when you do this. Pull on the whole side. And back to center. You bring your fingertips behind you. Draw the shoulder blades together. Open up the heart space. Come back to center. Go ahead and bring your feet out straight in front of you. So we're going to shake them out a little bit, warm them up. Setting up nice and tall. We're going to reach for the sky and we're going to reach forward for our toes. And here's a boundary that I would love for you to explore if you're comfortable. Drawing the shoulder blades back, reaching forward. Maybe you don't come all the way to the toes, maybe you come to the shin, or maybe you come to the back of the knees. Wherever you come to, I want you to see if you can push that boundary just a little bit. What would it look like if you came forward just a little bit more? What if you came to the edge of being comfortable in this position? Again, you don't have to. This is your movement, your practice. What does it feel like if you do? Good. Release the toes and the hands. Come back. You shake it out a little bit. How did that feel? Try again. Let's try this time with our legs open. Okay, our legs are open and our torso is coming forward. If with your legs open you feel like you have to sit back like this, you can always put a little pillow or a blanket or a block under your hips to help you kind of roll forward here. Have a nice flat back. We're just gonna roll our feet out a little bit. Good, and maybe this is a really intense stretch for you right now, and if it is, that's totally fine. You can just stay just like this. If you could take a little bit more, maybe you'll lock your hands down. Now it's 5:30 in the morning here, and it's like 2 degrees outside, so I know for myself, my own flexibility is, but putting myself at my edge, meaning that I'm coming as far as I know I can go. And I'm taking my breath there to the spaces that feel tight, that feel like they're conformed within a boundary, and I'm taking my breath and I'm letting my breath loosen and encourage my body to go a little bit further. So at the beginning of our practice, our bodies are telling one story about how far we can go. But as we move and stretch, a new story begins to unfold, that maybe we could go a little bit further. The same is true for you. The same is true for the story that you've been telling yourself for years or decades. Maybe at one time the story was true. Maybe you have the evidence of that. Now you get to tell a new story. And it can be based on who God says you are. Oh, you're ready to come out. Shake your leg. Back forward to the toes real fast. Really. Oh, good. So we're going to bring our feet around and come to all fours on our mat. So here on all fours, we're just going to loosen our low back up a little bit. Because it has feelings about sitting on this concrete for so long. Maybe yours does too. Good. From here, we're going to take the right arm is going to come forward, reaching with our fingertips, and the left leg is going to come back. Good. Rotate that pinky toe toward the mat, belly into the spine. Really stretch apart here. Good. From here, we're going to bend that leg and reach back for that foot or ankle. Good. And as we kick into the hands, you're going to feel a nice stretch down the front of that thigh, but also in your back as you twist open, as your heart opens. And back down to center. Good. Other arm, other leg. So left arm comes long, right leg kicks back. Reach and stretch here. Good. Pull the belly to the spine, taking some heat here. And reach back. Good. Kick into that hand. Open the heart space. Feel that stretch in the front of the thigh. Good. And release it down. Beautiful. Tuck your toes under here and lift up and back for downward facing dog. Good. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, you can. Open through the heart space, pressing the first finger and the thumb into the mat. Good. On your next exhale, roll forward to plank pose. Good. Now here in plank, you're welcome to drop your knees if that feels better to you. That does not tell a story of weakness. That tells a story of knowing your body well. Good. From here, we're going to drop the heels to the left and let the right arm come high for side plank. Again, if you need to, you can drop that knee. Lift up through the hips. Good. What are you experiencing in your body right now? Are you keeping it at its edge? Good. Both hands come down. Good. Once again, you can bring your knees to the mat if you'd like to, or you can press back for downward facing dog for a couple of My socks are making this hard today. Good. And when you're ready, as you exhale, roll forward, plank pose. And to the other side. Once again, feel free to drop the knee. That does not tell a story of weakness. It tells a story of knowing yourself and your body. I hurt my shoulder, so my knee is definitely coming down on this side. And when you're ready, come back to plank. Good. Exhale, hinge forward slightly. Lower yourself down, nice and slow, to the mat. Beautiful. Good. Draw the shoulder blades back, cobra pose. No weight in the hands. And come back down to the mat. Beautiful. Now, with as much grace as you can, we're going to flip around onto our back. We're just going to open our hips a little bit. So I'm going to take my hands to the knees, and I'm going to pull my knees to either side of my body. I'm just going to let them rock back and forth. Maybe you want to bring your hands to the inside of your feet, or wrap your fingers around your big toes. Take that stretch a little bit further. Happy baby. Totally up to you. Whatever feels comfortable in your body. Good. From here, going to take our right ankle and bring it on top of the left thigh. We're going to draw that left thigh back and into us, opening up space in our hip here. Our hips happen to be the places on our bodies where the most stories get told. So bring yourself to the edge here. How close can you get that left leg? And press on the right knee with your right elbow, opening up that space. Good. Good. We're going to take this position with our legs, and we're just going to drop that right foot to the mat or the floor below us. So our feet are still in the same position. Going to lock this right shoulder blade down to the mat so you have a nice twist here. Again, if this is putting you at your edge, it's okay. You can take some deep breaths and lean in if you want to play with those edges. Good. Lift the legs back up. Pull it in one last time. Good. Both knees in. We're going to do the opposite. So left ankle over the right thigh. Pull the right thigh in. Play with your edge here. Feel your hips open up with your breath. Good. Take that all the way over to the side. Pin that left shoulder to the mat. My whole spine just popped. I don't know about yours. Good. And come back to center. And squeeze the legs in if you'd like. You can bring the soles of the feet together. Keep those hips nice and open as you finish in Savasana. Keep your breath going. Keep retelling yourself the story of who you are now, of your new consciousness. I'll end us with the blessing from today's reading. Once more. So may you tend and take and eat the gifts of the garden of the text. In the gaps, in the margins, in the secret spaces among the words, may you find places to create stories anew. And might I add, in the secret spaces among your joints and muscles and your bones, and the beat of your heart, might you find the story of your purpose, of your belovedness, of your beauty and your strength. Thanks for joining me today, ladies. Namaste.